down. What the heck was that? Hello everybody and welcome back to session 42 with the Little Wolf Knits. I am Brianna and I am the dyer, designer, and human behind Little Wolf Knits and this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by for another episode with me. It is currently Tuesday, May 14th. Got it? And it's a little overcast outside, but hopefully we do okay with lighting today. I feel like I don't have that much to talk about with you. I was actually feeling a little, not unexcited, but like, oh, they're going to be disappointed. I don't have that much that I've done this week because I've only worked on 2 projects really, but I have done a lot of work on them. So maybe this will be a quick one. Who knows? Let's start first with what I'm wearing. I feel like I've worn this so many times, it's embarrassing, but I am wearing my second Av sweatshirt. This one is in my Taste You Can See, which is Cinnamon Toast Crunch inspired, and on my Schooner base, and this is Cinnamon Sugar on my 420 base. I wear this so much. It's like 70 degrees outside right now, but it's gray and gloomy, and I wanted to feel cozy, so I just threw it on over my shirt. And that's how it goes for most days around here because it's so cozy. I do feel like I need another one because I have 2, but I wear them both so much. I think I'm going to need another one for the summer. But we'll see where that takes me. That's all that I'm wearing knit-wise today, so let's talk a little bit about admin. There is nothing super new in the world of admin or housekeeping, but the Hot Stitch Summer Mail is in full swing. In case you missed it last week when we announced it, go back to last week's podcast and you could catch all the details, but basically summer projects, whips, allowed, FOs not needed, knit, crochet, weaving, sewing, embroidery, macrame, anything you want. And I am hosting a little Discord channel. I'll drop the link down below, but it's also linked in my Instagram bio. Oh, I think I included it last week. I was like, did I forget the Discord last week? I think I did. But it's been really fun and folks are popping in and chatting about what they're making and what they're working on. So that is super awesome. We don't have any other administrative things, I don't believe, at this point. So let's hop into what I finished this week. I have only finished one item, but it's a big item, and I'll be honest, I wasn't sure whether I was going to finish or not. It's my sweater. I finished my DRK everyday sweater, and it is one of my favorite things I've ever knitted. It still needs a block. I finished it yesterday. All of the ends are woven in. But I weave in my ends and block, and then I trim everything after so it has space to like grow a little. But I didn't want it wet for the podcast, so I'm going to pop this into the bath today because I still think, I don't know, I know it's a DK weight, but it still feels like I could get a lot of wear out of it. Last week when I talked to you all, I did not have the bottom hem on for sure, and I think I was working on this sleeve. I was maybe somewhere at the end of this sleeve. I'm certain that I didn't have the cuff finished because I made a mistake. I went ahead, got to the cuff, and I said, oh, 1 by 1 ribbing, that is my standard. And then I was like, now that I've done this sleeve, let me go ahead and pick up the hem of my body. And then I realized the hem is supposed to be 2 by 2. So I ended up having to frog this. I didn't cut it. I just picked out the sewn bind off and frogged back and then reknit it in 2x2 rib. Once I was done with the body ribbing, I was kind of over having multiple things attached or working on it while another yarn was attached. So I went ahead on Saturday and finished this bottom hem. It's 4 inches and I love it so much. I did a sewn bind off. Then I went back and fixed, see, am I showing you the right sleeve? I am. Fixed this cuff. And then I said, well, I can go ahead and cast this one on. And I did a little bit of yarn management here. Because the body has this sort of purplish right after the armhole split. And then this sleeve happened to have the same at the arm. I said, man, I'll see where I am in my skein. I don't think I will be too far from another purplish section. I actually thought I was going to get to on the first sleeve. So I wound off about maybe 3 or 4 grams, set it aside, and then started with the sleeve. I honestly didn't care too much, but because I knew it was so close and I knew I was going to have more than enough yarn, I went ahead and did it, and I just love how the sleeve came out. I did my 2x2 ribbing this time, and I love the overall color of the sweater. It's so amazing. I a little worried I made the sleeves too long. But I do feel like sometimes I make my sleeves too short. These are good. But sometimes I make my sleeves too short, and I'm like, it's okay, they'll block out. But once you're wearing a sweater, I feel like if you've stretched it a lot to block it, it kind of snaps back in. But this sweater is so amazing, and I cannot wait to wear it. Hopefully, very soon before it gets too hot for the summer. Now that I've shown you this, I did see from that Progress Keeper this entire sleeve yesterday. All of it yesterday. I was talking to my friend Wendy of Very Warm Stripes, and I was like, I think I'm going to work and finish this sleeve today. And I did. And I'm so proud of myself and in love. So, unfortunately, that is my only finished object, but I did a lot of knitting on it, so I hope that you can forgive me. I have, however, done a bit of knitting and working on a few other projects, so let's talk about whips. My first whip to talk about is one that you've seen, but it is getting close to the end, and this might be the last week that you see it as a whip, which would be very cool. So in my Tanny Casey bag, we have my Cloudscape sweater scarf, and this is the end of my second skein of Desert Bloom on buoy, and my goal is to finish this today. And then I have one more skein left, and I don't believe I will use the entire skein, so that'll be fun to have some leftovers. But I have one lonely skein left in this bag that is unworked at this point. And my project looks the same as you saw it last time, although I have added so many inches. So I started, let's see, with this cuff in the round and then split and started working flat. Last time you saw it, I had worked about 30 inches in my Progress Keeper, and little chocolate chip cookie is right there. I have worked this much more. See that Progress Keeper down here? I have worked all of this in the last week. I believe it is about 20 or so inches from what I showed you last time. So when I fold it in half, you can see I only have about 9 or 10 more inches to work on this before I start working in the round. I worked 6 inches on this last night while I was watching a movie. So in about 2.5 hours, I worked 6 inches. We have movie night tonight for Tuesday. So my goal is to work about 6 inches tonight and maybe a few inches on the body today before that. But I would love to be done with the body of this and join in the round to work on the sleeve tomorrow and Thursday. I usually don't get too much knitting time on Wednesdays because I'm in the office. But Wednesday and Thursday, if I could finish this one up, I can block it and have it ready for next week's podcast. Although this is a gift for my mom and it won't be needed until Christmas. It will feel so good to have this finished and set aside so I can start working on some other gifts and Christmas holiday knitting. I do want to make a second one of these for someone else in my family, but this has been a lot of stockinette with Surrey. So I think for now, I'm going to take a little bit of a break and try something else. But I'm still loving every minute of this. It is so beautiful and so fluffy, and it's making me feel like I might want one for myself. We'll see. Okay, that's whip number 1. Whip number 2, I have started something I showed you last week that was just in project planning at that point. This is in my Songbird handmade neutral tan bag, and I have a new design in it. I think this will be my high tide tee because it will be a play off of my low tide tee. Let me show you the yarn. This is a pink with some purplish undertones, and this is Strawberry Milk from the Cereal Bowl collection. Cereal Bowl? Cereal Box. Oh, I should have been Cereal Bowl. Whatever. So not my normal palette, but I'm loving it, and I feel like, I don't know, there's something about this colorway and this design that is going to be like a super soft, reminds me of like that ballet slipper pink usually has a little bit more peachy undertones. This is a little bit more of the purple, and I love it. And I'm using a stitch marker from Sweet Cherry Jewelry Co. Is that right? I think that's right. It's so cute. Little s'mores. And then I will use my, I just dropped it. My yellow cake with chocolate frosting for my second stitch marker on this one. I have my little sheepy stitch stoppers on here, and we do have stitch stoppers still in the shop, although we're running low on most of the designs. We do have some summery ones. I know we have palm trees, flamingos, rollerblades, flip-flops, some really cute ones that are perfect for the season and putting on all of your summer projects. But like I said, this is just the baby beginnings of this. My goal is to work through the back panel potentially this week. And once that other sweater scarf is off my needles, this will be kind of my mindless portable knitting that I bring around. And I would love to get this top done in under 2 weeks. I think 2 skeins in under 2 weeks. That feels realistic. And I'm super, super excited about this. I do have a little bit of a time crunch on these. I would like these done for some traveling that I'm doing this summer, but I also realized recently that I'm going on vacation for my anniversary in about a month, and I wanted to make a dress. I wanted to make a dress for that trip. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it'll get done. We'll see. But there you go. Whip number 2. My last whip is a spinning whip. I have barely put a dent in this since you saw it last. I ended up breaking that chunk of fiber in half last week while we were watching, and then I split the rest of the fiber in half, so it's just a little bit easier, a preparation that feels more manageable while I'm using it. So I should go ahead and join this braid to what I have on my drop spindle. So shouldn't do it while I'm talking, so that it is ready to spin, because we all have learned that I am much more likely to jump into a project, especially a spinning project, if it's already been started. So now that this is connected to the braid, I think I will be much more likely to pick it up and spin on it. Okay, well, I'll do that after this. And I will be much more likely to pick it up and spin on it. That is all that I have for my whips for this week. I feel like I barely have anything to talk about because you've seen so much of what I've already worked on. A little bit of project planning, like I said, thinking about the next design that I'll be working on. That should come out. So we have the low tide tee coming out in May. We have the C Street tank for June. The high tide tee would come out in July. I already have a pair of pants that's in testing. That'll be August. And then some fun ideas, really, honestly, to start getting to fall planning. But I would love, love, love to work up a project or two to take on my anniversary trip. So we'll see if we can get it done. I guess you'll find out when I do. You'll find out alongside me, because you'll be here, hopefully, to help me out and make some decisions. I have received something in the mail, so let's talk about acquisitions for a second. I have acquired a little bit of fiber this week because I feel like my fiber stockpile is running low. I know that's not true. I have 3 braids that I want to use as a combo spin, another 3 braids to use as a combo spin, 2 braids to use as a combo spin, and then a bunch of roll-ags that I want to use in some sort of combination. And I have 3 more braids downstairs. Okay, I hear myself saying it. I have a lot of fiber to spin. But I was feeling like I wasn't having so many options in my fiber stash. Maybe that's because I've been pretty intentional with my buying. When I buy something, to say, okay, this is going to pair well with this. So then I'm looking at my stash. I'm like, I don't know what I want to work on. And I think it's because I don't know what I want to make next. And maybe I need to just spin for the sake of spinning and let the project be what it is. Now that I finished this, I know I want another handspun project on the needles, but maybe it'll be a tank top. I already have those single skeins wound up. Maybe it'll be a hat. Tank top would be really nice. I could always bring something with me on my vacation. But maybe my next combo spin, I'm pretty much torn. Do I want to do a 2-ply? I have 2 braids I could do for a 2-ply for like a summer t-shirt. Do I want to do a 3-braid combo spin for a dress or a sweater or a shawl? Those pretty much all the same amount of yardage. And maybe I should just go with the 2-ply because it's summer. But anyway, all of this led me to say, man, it's hard to grab fiber and fiber updates. I feel like so many people are spinning now, and there are not that many people dyeing fiber. I have fiber for my own shop. I could obviously grab and spin. I don't know why I haven't done that, but I said I want to treat myself to a little bit of fiber coming in a little bit more regularly. So I jumped on to Nest Fiber Co. because I love Nest Fiber. And I did their Valentine Advent. I've had some of their braids. I just used Hello Sunshine, the chartreuse green in this one, although I did not love the base of this. And I decided to join their monthly fiber club as a little treat. And because I joined in April, I think I grabbed April's colorway. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was spring, so I think it was April, May, June, and I had joined at the very beginning of May, so I still got April's. But this colorway is called Corsage, which is so April and springy, and it's on a thin base, which I have used in their Valentine countdown, and I just love their color sense. I really love this purple, and I don't know, this purple, like this little section here pops so well with these pinks, and it's not what I would normally gravitate toward, right? I'd gravitate toward the wines and the cranberries and the neutrals, but I think I'm learning that so much of my fiber stash looks so similar that a fiber club is going to be a really cool thing to help me branch out of that a little bit. So super excited about this and excited to see the next few months and whether I end up continuing with this. That's all I've acquired in the last week, I believe. So let's just talk for a minute about what's in the shop. In the shop, we have some of the same things. I think all of the same things that I mentioned last week. One exciting thing has happened. I was planning to dye the second half of the Moana countdown this week, and it didn't happen. Not exciting for me, but exciting for you. I have been dealing with all of this car insurance headache nonsense. We still don't have an answer about my car. Michael's been having car trouble, so I didn't get around to dyeing this week, which is awesome. I dyed orders instead, so that means you have a few more days to grab either a 15-day Moana countdown or a 30-day fingering weight Moana countdown. And I will be dyeing those up next week, so this is really, really your last call, because next week they'll be dyed and wound. The following week, I will start labeling and tagging and boxing, and then they're going to be shipped out. So grab a Moana-inspired July box, my Island Girl box, if you want one, because it will be your last chance. We also still have our October boxes, our Beetlejuice-inspired boxes in the shop. Super exciting. I finally announced it yesterday on Instagram, and lots of folks seemed very excited about it. So that's super cool. 13, 30, or single day boxes. The single day can be on any base, including fiber. The 13 or 30 are a fingering weight, a DK weight, or a fiber base. And I am so excited. I think I'm going to keep a fiber base for myself. Very excited there. What else? There are May clubs in the shop. So we have our Ted Lasso inspired Be a Hoot, or we have City of Angels. That is our From the Open Road inspired club. And they're both beautiful blues, neutrals, perfect for summer. Y'all have been loving those, which is also making me super happy. I am working away on cereal orders. There will be a fair bit of leftovers that will be ready to ship once I am done with this pre-order, which is exciting. I shouldn't actually say that too soon, because we are having a local-ish sort of knit night next week where I will be bringing a lot of yarn to sell. So there may or may not be leftovers. We will see. But I'm working away on the variegateds for those. I am getting to tonals. That's just how I sort of split things up this time. It seemed to make sense that way. I have shipped out orders that were already ready to dye from some of the trunk shows that I've done. There were a few orders I was able to get out. So that is super exciting. And I think that's all that's going on in the shop for now. Next week, I'll be playing around with June clubs, which is very exciting. I always love to do that. And playing around with my Wolfpack exclusive colorways for this quarter. So in case you don't know, I run a membership called the Wolfpack, and each quarter, one of my tiers, my alpha tiers, get to create a colorway with me, and they've all been inspired by wolves so far, and this is our last quarter of doing this theme as this group, and we have dyed the variegated, and now we just need to dye the matching tonal, and that's been so fun to work up. And get those out to Wolfpack members because it stays exclusive to those members, not just of that tier, but of all of the tiers for that quarter. Other than that, there's not too much going on in the shop. There will be some bags and some progress keepers that are coming to the shop soon, so keep an eye out for that, but I will show you those next week. For now, I guess let's just do a really quick life update, and I'll let you know what's been going on. There honestly isn't too much that's been going on since we chatted last week. We went to see, last Tuesday we saw Fall Guy. It was very, very cute. Very a la Barbie-esque of like the parody, playful cheesiness, but really cute, heart-wrenching. My eyes were watering at some points. I thought it was really actually kind of amazing to give this tribute to this stuntman. The Fall Guys that we usually don't recognize or think about too much. So it was a really great movie. I loved it. Definitely recommend if you're up for a cute, heartfelt, funny movie with some action thrown in. We also haven't been watching too much TV because we have been planning ahead for this week because Planet of the Apes, what's this one called? Is I think Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I believe is this one. And I had never seen any of the Planet of the Apes. The original, the 2001, or the series that started now. And we just went ahead and watched, we didn't watch the 2001, we just watched the 2014, 17, and 2020 or something. And in talking to people about it, I realized that those three, and potentially this fourth one that we're going to see tonight, I don't know yet, are sort of the prequel to the original and the remake of 2001. So that's been kind of cool. I'm liking them more than I thought I would, if I'm being honest. I thought they were kind of going to be silly and I was going to be like, but I've been really enjoying them. I have been reading. I finished None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and it was okay. I feel like I just don't love reading things that are super trendy or hypey because I get my hopes up and then I'm like, it was good. I think if there wasn't as much hype around it, I may have enjoyed it more. But we have a book chat with my Wolfpack in the next week, so I will make sure to talk to them about all of it and figure out my thoughts. But I have started another book. I think it's called The Perfect Stranger by Megan Miranda. It is the last of her books that I own that I have not read. It was in my library when I finished None of This Is True. That night, I just downloaded this one and started reading it. What else has gone on? Not too much. I've been dealing with insurance. Michael has been having some pain as potentially a result of the accident, but he is going to see doctors and seeing who he needs to see and is okay. I just keep saying he's okay. This could have been a lot worse. It's just such a headache to deal with insurance and all of that. But we're all good. We're all okay. I went home this weekend. Michael was actually working, and he got to see his mom this weekend because he was working closer to Ohio. I got to go home and see my mom this weekend, which was cool. We just hung out, had a pretty chill weekend. Saturday, I took her for a foot massage, and then we went out to dinner. Sunday, we hung out. We took her to brunch. We hung out at the house. We saw Rocco. We saw Nanny. And then we just ordered pizza. It was very chill. It was very relaxing. And I think it was perfect. I gave her, I don't know if y'all remember, back in February, I knit her a sort of modified solstice in grain. I only had 20 minis that were leftovers from another shawl I had made. So I had about 200 grams instead of the 400 or whatever I would have had. So I modified it a little bit. I increased to a certain point, then I worked straight, then I decreased. And I gave that shawl to her this weekend. She loved it. She was wearing it immediately all day. So that was super fun. And it was nice to just like hang out and spend some time together. I think that is all that's going on tonight. Like I said, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. And once we're done with our little Planet of the Apes saga, we will likely hop back into American Horror Story because we haven't watched that in like probably a week and a half at this point. So yeah, we'll have to jump back into that. But that is all I have to say. I'm just rambling at this point. So I am going to sign off and I will chat with you all soon. And until then, take care of each other. Bye.